Soul Simmers, it's ThatSimminWitch here, and welcome back to another Makeover Monday. This week we are doing the Delgatos. I'm really excited because these are the first kiddos, but let's kind of get into our little chat normally about the lore. So in the game, the family or household description says basically that Supriya is a stay-at-home mum, but she wants to pursue her dream of being a vet. Justin goes out to work, but he is willing to switch roles basically to become a stay-at-home dad so he can look after the kids while she goes and pursues her dreams, which is pretty awesome. It's like a nice little story that can be played out. In my headcanon, and how I've got to know the Delgatos, sometimes I play a little bit with the families before I make them over, but I feel like Supriya is basically on the edge of a breakdown. So you'll see this when I talk through her outfits. But yeah, she's on the edge of a breakdown, whereas Justin is thriving. He looks fantastic, he feels fantastic, but Supriya is just drowning a little bit. So let's get into my makeovers. So for Supriya, like I said before, she's sort of on the edge of a breakdown. So when I was picking clothes for her and deciding on the kind of look that I wanted for her, I kind of had that in mind. I didn't make her full on breakdown so she isn't completely messy, but at the same time I wanted her to feel like she's just overwhelmed. She doesn't have time for herself, she doesn't have time to pick her clothes, she doesn't have time to do her hair or do her makeup the way that she would probably want to do it. So with that in mind, that's kind of what I've gone for with Supriya. Most of her clothes are kind of easy clothes, if you like. They're kind of I can just grab these, put them on and get on with my day, looking after my kids, cleaning my house, cooking, all the kind of stay-at-home mum things that stay-at-home mums do. So this is this is what I had in mind. It did take me quite a long time to figure out Supriya. I really struggled trying to pinpoint exactly what I wanted her to wear, but kind of once I got into the vibe of things, I had figured it out. So as you can see in this first everyday outfit, she kind of has just a jumper and some sort of pull-on trousers and some walking boots. She's her hair, I've given her shorter hair just because I feel she doesn't have time to do it. So she was you know what, I'm going to chop it off and just not have to deal with it every day. And makeup wise, she doesn't really wear any makeup on her everyday looks or her hot weather and cold weather. She does have a little bit on her special occasion ones, so her party wear and her formal wear, but otherwise she just doesn't have time for it. And one of the reasons that I kind of went for an outfit like this was that I wanted her to feel she was being practical. So she has her kids, she has her pets, she has a lot of stuff in her life that are keeping her busy, and one of the things obviously is having to walk the dog. I can see that she would be the one that would end up having to do that. Well, for one, she is the dog lover of the family, but also she's the stay-at-home mom, so I can just see that it would kind of fall to her to that be part of her daily routine and part of her looking after the household. So I also had in mind that Brindleton Bay, where they live, obviously has quite a cool climate, especially in the winter. It gets really blizzardy, so I wanted her to make sure that when I did her warmer weather clothes, that she had them had really well wrapped up clothes, basically, because I knew she would be outside a lot, not only with the dogs but also with her kids, because I feel like both of her kids enjoy playing outside and being outside no matter what the weather. So that's kind of the feeling that I went for with Supriya. So colour palette wise for her, I kind of stuck mostly to earthy tones. There's lots of greens and browns and sort of those kinds of like natural colours. I kind of just wanted her to sort of feel like she was quite connected to nature and quite connected to like the world around her. So yeah, that's kind of why like I chose those like kind of colours for her. I just think she's really aware of the world around her, even more so probably because she doesn't necessarily feel part of it. She kind of feels like looking after her kids and her family are just sort of like the thing that she has to do, and like she's not doing the thing that she actually really wants to do. So yeah. That's sort of like the kind of thing that I was thinking of when I was picking her outfits. Like I really liked that little checked shirt that I put her in for her second everyday outfit. I just thought it like screamed practical because she had, like, with it having a t-shirt underneath, she can either wear just the t-shirt or wear it open, or she can put the shirt on as well if it's a little bit cooler. But anyway, let's just have a chat about her formal outfits. So in her pre-made formal outfit, she is actually wearing a vet's uniform, which for me is a bit weird. But like I didn't want to completely get rid of it, so she does have 3 outfits in her formal wear because I kept the vet's uniform. But also when I was thinking of her formal wear, I was thinking maybe she was a little bit outdated, like she doesn't get to buy new clothes very often, so that's why I sort of like most of her like formal wear is kind of like shirt and trousers, like sort of like easy to pick things that maybe she's had in her like closet for years and years and years, but they're like the staples that keep her going. And because I don't think she's really feminine, so I didn't give her any sort of like looks that included like very feminine items of clothing. So I don't think I put her in any dresses or any skirts. I tried to make that like a conscious sort of like thing that I was thinking of when I was choosing her clothes. I just feel like she doesn't feel comfortable expressing her femininity, and part of that is because of her like feeling like all she is a mom, and obviously not single motherhood, stay-at-home motherhood, sorry, is obviously quite often a big part of feminine identity, but she obviously wants more than being a single mom. She loves her kids and she loves her family, but she just wants more for herself, and that's okay. You're allowed to want more. You can still love your family and want more at the same time. And Supriya is like kind of like struggling with that and trying to figure out her best way of pushing forward so that she can become someone happier and ultimately a better person for her family and for herself. So I actually really love this little second formal wear I gave her. The top like I chose really because I think Supriya is supposed to be of like Indian descent, judging by her name, which is an Indian name. So I thought that like that top, it kind of had sort of like the kind of pattern that a lot of like sort of Indian clothes have. So like it's very floral and like it's got the golds and stuff, and like you quite often see that on like things like saris and stuff like that. They have really like beautiful patterns, but at the same time I didn't want them to be like maybe as bold and as colourful as some of the like saris and stuff that Indian people use, because of her sort of like connecting more to like the earthy colours, and so that's kind of why I went for like the the one that was sort of like the beige and the gold. I just think that like it kind of brings in a little bit of her culture. She isn't like very connected to her culture in many ways, but I thought like little elements like that just sort of added a special little touch for her. So in her party wear outfits, I did give her like a little bit more freedom. Basically like I thought that she would kind of feel a bit freer to let loose for party wear, because it's not the same kind of like restrictions with party wear as when you're sort of like doing formal wear, where like often if you're going to a place where you wear formal wear, you often have rules about how you're supposed to dress. So it has to be like a certain level of formality, or like it'll have like black tie or whatever. So I felt like with party wear she was able to be a little bit more adventurous with what she wore, but also sort of still be comfortable. So she has one of her outfits is from Forent. It's kind of like a really long top with trousers, and I just like think that she would find that really comfortable. It's quite jazzy because it's got a little bit of a pattern on, but I thought that she would enjoy that. Her second party wear is the new jumpsuit that we got with Business and Hobbies. I thought this was a really good pick for her because it kind of like sort of is a little bit crazy for Supriya's style, but also at the same time it's like it kind of looks a bit retro, even though like it's also a little bit fashionable. Like I feel like it's one of those things that she's had in her wardrobe, and she got it when it was originally like released, and then it's sort of come full circle and now it's starting to get a little bit trendy again. So that's really what I was thinking with her party wear. I let her have some jewellery on, and she just sort of like, I feel like her party wear is her getting to be a little bit more her. So I did just want to add quickly that her swimwear, she's one of the few Sims that I've given two swimwear outfits to. One is for actually swimming, and the second one is for what I would say was mum mode, where she's at the beach and she's keeping an eye on her kids, on like playing in the sand or playing in the water. So she isn't really focusing on swimming, she's focusing on just staying cool in the sun and hanging out on the beach. So with her hot weather outfits, I did go for clothes that were a little bit more outdoorsy, really because I feel like their family holidays would be camping holidays. So I wanted her to be sort of like inappropriate clothing with like her hat and her sun cream and just stuff that she like didn't have to worry about her own well-being wearing, or her own comfort while she was wearing, and instead she could just focus on hanging out with her family and looking after her little ones in sort of like a more like dangerous setting, if you like, camping. So that's kind of like my vibe for her her hot weather outfits. I just thought that like those kind of like suited her. I think she likes that kind of thing anyway, hiking and walking, especially because she's a dog lover. I can just see her going for like miles and miles and miles walking with her dog. But yeah, I think those outfits like looked really cute on her, and they really suited like the vibe that I was going for. So for her final outfits, the cold weather outfits, her outdoor one I really wanted to make sure was really like nice and warm. She lives in Brindleton Bay and it gets cold in Brindleton Bay, so she spends a lot of time outside with her dogs, so or dog, sorry, not two dogs, I don't know where I got that from, but yeah, she spends a lot of time outside with the dog and she just needs to be nice and warm. So that's kind of like my main focus was for like her outdoorsy outfit for the cold weather. For the indoor one, I went for something slightly different. She has a a jumper like with like lots of layers, from, I believe it's from Growing Together, that jumper. And I kind of chose that because like I thought that because it has lots of like a few layers, she can regulate her own body temperature. So if she's busy with the kids, she might get a bit hot, so she might want to take the jumper off, but then she's still got like a t-shirt and a shirt underneath. Or like if she has to corral the kids in from like outdoors where they're playing in the garden or whatever, that she might have to like pop outside and be cold outside, but she's doesn't want to get fully dressed up for outdoors, if you like. So yes, that is Supriya, and that is what I chose for her. She's having a little fashion show at the moment, which is really cute. I like seeing the end results, like looking at all their outfits together. But just while we're picking Justin's likes and dislikes, I just wanted to say that as always, these are on my gallery, ThatSimminWitch. I will try and link my gallery in the description. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The gallery is really like finicky about sharing for some reason. But yes, so if you do want them in your game, then obviously you can add them into your game. But I'm really thrilled with how they've come out. So we're going to move on to talking about Justin anyway. So I'm not going to lie, with Justin, I don't know, he kind of is more ignored for me usually out of all of the Delgato family. He's the one that I would in gameplay usually interact with the least. However, when I've been making him over, I am fully prepared to admit that I have fallen a little bit in love with Justin. He his original clothing and hair and everything kind of like made him look very dad, but not necessarily like the best he could be. So I am actually loving my makeover of him. He's kind of like polished dad. He looks really good. He looks like he's thriving, which is what I wanted, and I am absolutely obsessed with how cute he actually is when you kind of like jazz up his dad mode. So I feel like Justin is definitely a dad that has a lot of dad jokes in his back pocket. So when I was picking some of his clothes, I kind of wanted that like reflected a little bit in his outfit choices. So he does wear quite a few things that have sort of like graphics on them. So like at the moment he's wearing this little like cardigan t-shirt combo or sweatshirt combo with a fox on it, and like I think like a graphic tee especially is like often quite sort of a fun way to add some personality into Sims. You can kind of like tailor it towards like their interests. So maybe they're like, if they're geeky, maybe they like video games or anime or stuff like that, but or like maybe they're sort of like have a good sense of humor and like are a bit funny and whatever, so they might have some like graphics on the t-shirts that are a little bit more fun. So like I do like that kind of thing. Like it's really useful like to help with storytelling when a lot of storytelling is visual in this game, unless obviously you're like doing what I'm doing and narrating and telling the story. It just really helps. So that's kind of like what I was thinking with Justin. Again, like I said, I wanted him to thrive, so like I really wanted to make his like hair and like his facial hair and everything like look really like polished, and like he was really taking good care of himself. Sort of like a bit of an opposite to Supriya, where she was sort of like a bit of a this'll do. Justin is a bit like, oh, I love myself, I love my clothes, I love how I look, I just am really loving life. So it was actually when I got to his like hair and his facial hair that I realised I was a little bit in love with him. So with his hair, like I did change it from like afro textured hair into curly hair. Like I wanted him to keep his curly hair, but I also like felt like the afro texture was a little bit much on him. So that's kind of what I've gone for with his hair. With his facial hair, I did give him like a little like goatee kind of thing going on. But yeah, that's like, I think like seeing him in a way that I would kind of picture Justin Delgato in my mind, sort of made me fall a little bit in love with him. And I just think he looks really cute. He looks quite a bit younger as well, like where I've made him over, but I just think he's really sweet. He's got eyelashes on now as well, which I must admit in this game I do love like a masculine sim with very feminine eyelashes. In real life too, I'm a little bit of a sucker for that, but I think that like I've just like really found Justin's style. So I picked some colours and patterns and stuff that maybe are a little bit more out there for Justin. Like I don't feel like he's like Supriya, like he's holding back. I feel like because he's feeling much more confident and like he's in a good place in his life, that he's willing to express his individuality, maybe wear clothes that are considered a little bit more risky in terms of colour schemes and things like that. So for example, this outfit where it's got like the pink and blue, obviously pink isn't considered very masculine, but yes, that's kind of like what I was thinking with Justin. In his formal wear, I did give him this cat sweater. I found it like when I was picking his everyday outfits, and although it's not very cool, I just think it's absolutely hilarious, and it definitely is his like dad joke side coming into like a formal setting. So like I decided to add that for his formal wear because yeah, that's what I like. I just think that like he doesn't necessarily enjoy a formal event, and he doesn't necessarily want to go to formal events, so if he's gonna go, he's gonna go under his own terms, and that means wearing like sweater vest with a cat on it. His second formal wear, I did make sure that he had at least one outfit that was a little bit more sophisticated. So I've got this like shirt and like waistcoat and trousers combo. I picked them really because like they're not too formal, but they look smart enough, and I think that like although he had a laugh with his sweater vest, I thought that like having the that outfit that kind of like looked a bit more formal would be his way of showing respect to like his friends and family. Like he wouldn't wear the cat sweater to like a wedding, for example, because he loves his friends and his family too much. He would make sure that he looked respectable and wouldn't be like mocking the situation. But if he went to, I don't know, some other like formal event that he didn't really have any kind of like personal investment in, that's when the cat sweater vest would show its show its face and give him something to talk about, and maybe like a jumping off point for some of his dad jokes. In his athletic outfits, I did give him one that was like a sports team outfit, and that was really because I feel like one of his hobbies would be playing in like a Sunday sports league of some description. So whether that's like football or basketball or something like that, I wanted him to have something that kind of like represent that he was part of a team. And then his like other athletic outfit is just like a hoodie and some tracksuit trousers, just like normal like workout wear. But I just I just thought like that was a nice little hobby for him to have, and it also ties nicely to one of Pierce's outfits when we get to Pierce in a little bit. So thinking a little bit to the future for Justin, I think that like I made him over basically before the Adventure Awaits developer live stream, but having watched that, I now think that like Justin could definitely be one of the volunteer camp counselors. So I feel like that's something that he would do like as a stay-at-home dad. So if you did play out the storyline where the roles were reversed with him and Supriya, that he would do that as like a way of volunteering, a way of like giving back to his community and like showing his family like how to not only be part of a family but also to give back to your community. So with his party wear outfits, I did try and like polish him up a little bit, but also keep him sort of relaxed and sort of part of himself. The very first outfit I absolutely love. It really gives me like Brandon Boyd from Incubus and like Make Yourself era vibes. And let's be real, that's probably a little bit why I fell in love with Justin, because Brandon Boyd is my one true heart, and like Justin really like makes me think of him now. Like my made over version of him is just like really like if Brandon Boyd hadn't become a rock star and had been like gone about a normal life and had kids and gone the whole dad mode route, this is what he would look like. He would be hot, but he would also be dad. So when I chose his warm weather outfits, the very first one I chose this really cool t-shirt from Enchanted by Nature. That's like one of my favourite clothing items from the Enchanted by Nature pack. I just think it's really fun, and like I thought that it was really fun for him simply because like I said, he likes to have a little bit more fun. He's a little bit more adventurous in his clothing choices, and yeah, I just thought like it was like a really cool like t-shirt for Justin to wear. I did toy with putting him in Crocs, but I can't put anyone in Crocs, especially someone who I have fallen in love with, because I'm not a big fan of Crocs. But yeah, he got like the jazzy bucket hat that like matches with this kind of like a bit like iridescent kind of feel to it. But I am absolutely loving his outdoor hot weather outfit. So the indoor one, we did get him in some pink again. I just think that like pink is his colour. He looks really good in pink, and it's like a little logo t-shirt. This is the kind of like outfit that he would wear at home, so he might be playing in the back garden with the kids or not really doing anything. So I feel like the pink top and the short shorts kind of like represent that quite well. Then moving on to his cold weather outfits, again I wanted sort of like some fun brought into his outfits, so that's why I did like this quite funky patterned cold weather jacket. Like I feel like it sort of suits his vibe, but also like I don't know, I really like it. I feel like it looks like something you would see if you looked under a microscope at like a mold or like a fungus or something like that. That doesn't sound very sexy, I know, but yeah, I just thought it'd be fun, and like I gave him some wellies because I just think that like Oh, maybe I didn't. Did I give him wellies? I thought I gave him wellies, but maybe I couldn't find ones that I liked. But I gave him really good snowshoes anyway, so that he kept his feet nice and warm for like the long cold winters in Brindleton Bay. But yeah, I am in love. I'm not gonna lie, I am properly in love with him. And then we got like this little fun like knitted fox jumper. Again, it kind of like pulls back to the fox that he had on his very first outfit that I put him in. I really like the like fun element of it, and yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking with his little jumper choice. It's quite laid back for like indoor cold weather. So yes, that is that, and he's having his little fashion show right now. So before we get to the kiddos, I just wanted to say that the pets I didn't actually do any editing on because there wasn't really anything to do. I like them the way they are. The only thing I did do was Blue the dog didn't have a collar on for their outdoor outfit, only for their indoor outfit. So I really wanted that to be rectified, but I didn't bother filming it because it literally took like 2 seconds and it wasn't worth it. But now we're moving on to our little kiddos, and these are our first kids that we are making over, and I'm super excited. So with Pierce, I feel like Pierce absolutely adores their dog Blue. That they got Blue when Pierce was a toddler or like an infant, and him and Blue have grown up together and they're like best friends. And Pierce, like, because the dog's named Blue, he has decided that his favourite colour is blue, and that like pretty much everything that he wears is blue. Like, blue has become his whole entire personality as a little kid, just because he loves his dog so much and wants to spend like all his time with the dog. And like, I kind of also wanted that reflected in his outfits. Like, I kind of wanted some fun clothes, a bit like his dad. So I really loved this like little t-shirt that he's got on for his very first outfit, with the little like dog that's like ready to go hiking. It's kind of like a little bit of his mum and a little bit of his dad sort of combined in the t-shirt, and I think it's really sweet. I also thought that like Pierce was very outdoorsy. He'd always be like playing outside and getting muddy and basically ruining his clothes. So like a lot of the time I have put him in like jeans or trousers that like look like they've either seen better days or they've been patched up, like they have in actually these jeans that he's wearing with this outfit, just because like I think that that's like a fun little way to show that he is a crazy wild child that you can't rein in at all. And of course I gave him curls as well for his haircut. I really liked him having curls. Like I like kids with curly hair anyway, but I just think it's nice how like the curls sort of pass down from like father to kids, and I just think he looks super cute. I'm absolutely obsessed with how well his first outfit came out. I also gave him braces. I just think that like he would have the braces as part of like his regular dental checkup, like he needed them. And I gave him like the little scar on his chin, just because I thought that like that's like something like one of his outdoor adventures led to him hurting his chin and ending up with a little scar on his chin. And I just think that like again that helps tie in and tell the story of Pierce's like little life so far. With his choices of clothing as well, I also tried as much as possible to have the little graphics of like animals on. I just think he's a really big animal lover, and he like really like when his mom takes him shopping to get new clothes, he's like, Mom, I want this, when it's got like animals on it, or anything like that, really. Just like something that like looks really fun, looks like it grabs the attention. And I think Supriya is the kind of mom that would let him choose his clothes if he wanted them. So like I can see him like this little t-shirt that he's got on with like a little monster on. I can see him like going to the store, seeing that and being like, oh my god, I must have it. And Supriya, of course, giving in to him and letting him get his little monster graphic t-shirt. I like shoes wise, I gave him like a lot of like boots and like hiking boots, sometimes some like sandals. I just think that like for him being like outdoorsy and spending a lot of time playing outside in the garden and a lot of time with his dog, I wanted him to be like well covered in the foot area. Just because like, yeah, that kind of like makes sense. And I think Supriya, because she's outdoorsy, she like would also make sure that he had those kinds of things, that like if he was going to be outside, that he would be protected and he would be wearing what he should be and not exposed to the elements, or wearing something that he's going to get hurt wearing. So like he's kind of like a mixture of his mum and his dad. Like he's outdoorsy like his mum, but he's also hilarious and like just loves to have fun like his dad. And I think that's like super sweet. I'm just absolutely loving like little Pierce's personality, and I think that's why like picking his formal wear was really difficult for me. Like I didn't want him to be too formal, like because he would just find a way of getting messy and dirty. So I could just imagine like Supriya not putting him in clothes that were too expensive or too fancy, because having a child like Pierce that wrecks everything is is that kind of like mentality is formed. So they were probably actually my hardest outfits to find for him. But I do think they kind of came out well. The I don't know, I like the second one a little bit more, like in his little jacket and shorts. I think that is a little bit more polished, but at the same time it like it kind of isn't too polished, that it kind of allows him to find a way to get up to some mischief. So with Pierce's athletic outfits, one of them is just like normal kid, like easy to wear shorts, t-shirt, trainers, that kind of thing. The other one is actually like a soccer team outfit that I put together for him, or football. I prefer using football since I'm from the UK. That's what we call soccer. And when I say football, that's usually what I mean, by the way. But I kind of like the idea that he was part of a team. I think that like it kind of feels like maybe in an effort to curb some of his like rambunctious energy, that maybe Supriya decided to enroll him into a team sport, and was hoping that like his energy would burn off, but no, it didn't. Instead, he is just as rambunctious and just as chaotic, but she also has to get up early on Saturday mornings to take him to football practice. So this ties to like Justin's athletic outfit. Justin has his Sunday league, whereas Pierce has his little Saturday morning football games, where he burns off some of his energy, which I think is really nice. And like continuing on with that kind of theme, in his sleepwear outfits, I gave him this little boxy vest top for one of them. just because it ties back to his dad, and his dad's like t-shirt and jumper and stuff that have foxes on. I just think like he really idolizes his dad, like where his dad works, and he sees his mum a lot because she's a stay-at-home mum. I feel like he really wants to connect with his dad, and he's kind of like idolized his dad a little bit, and that's why he like tries to be a bit like him with the way he dresses and like the things that he finds fun. I also did give him a onesie for his other sleepwear, just because onesies are going to be a little bit of a theme for the little kiddos. I just think that they're practical, they keep them warm, and they're quite easy to wash when Supriya does the washing. So his little party wear outfits, I absolutely adore both of them. I kind of wanted them to be like for him going to his like little friends' birthday parties. So like at a kid's birthday party, obviously there's like adults and stuff to supervise, so maybe Supriya felt a bit easier letting him look a little bit more polished than usual, but also still looking fun and looking really cute with his like fun choices of fashion. So that's kind of like what I was thinking with them. Like, I really love the little dinosaur outfit from the business. I think that's Business and Hobbies anyway. But I think it just is really cute, and I just like love it as an outfit for little Pierce. He just seems to work it really, really well. And then like swimwear I made to make sure that he was like covered for if they're at the beach. Again, it's Supriya's mom mode, making sure everyone's protected. No one's going to get sunburn or get like sunstroke or heat stroke. She's like really concerned about her kids, and because they're like basically her whole world, that's kind of like makes sense. That's why like I've kind of been a bit thoughtful when it comes to things like that, like making sure that the kids have sun cream on and just like little elements like that to make it seem like her kids are basically her whole entire world. Then when I did like his outdoor outfits, I did one obviously where he was nice and wrapped up. I'd kind of picked it right at the beginning. I found it when I was like looking through the outfits, trying to figure out what I was going to put him in. It has a little penguin on, so it is like fun, but it's gonna keep him nice and warm in the cold Brindleton Bay winters, and when they do lots of like outdoor activities like the family do, like going for their dog walks and hikes, etc, etc. So I thought that was really fun. And then like the second cold weather outfit that I chose for him was a little onesie, and I thought that like because Brindleton Bay has a lot of like blizzards and stuff in the winter, that he wouldn't always be able to play outside in the winter, and for Pierce that's like awful. It's just the worst. So in the winter he has to stay in a lot of the time, go in stir crazy, but also like just not able to rein himself in at all, and running around the house with the dog, who is also a little bit stir crazy from not being walked quite as much because of the blizzards. And like I can just see them creating absolute havoc indoors. Him and Blue just having the time of their lives, in their little onesie, keeping nice and warm and just having fun. And that's like also, I mean, it's got the blue because of his obsession with blue, but also it has like the little bones and the tennis balls, which also like shows you how much he loves his dog. And I just thought like that was like a nice little piece of storytelling to add to Pierce's outfits. But yeah, while he's having his little show, we're just gonna talk about Evie. Little Evie, oh my god, she is so cute. She ends up being really cute. If you ever like if you're doing a legacy and you're looking for pretty little spouses for future generations, Evie is definitely one to look out for. She ends up growing up being super cute. So with her outfits, the vibe basically was that she is just like fun. Like, she's a really good little kid. She's angelic as her like toddler trait. But I just wanted her to have like some fun and like show off some like toddler energy basically. Her mum like spends more time on Evie's outfits than she does her own. So Evie does get some like nice little clothes and things like I chose this little hair with the little hair clips in to rein in like her curls. I just think that it's really cute, and like the little bumblebee outfit I think is just like, or like, well, I guess that one's more of a butterfly than a bumblebee, but I just think that it's like her playing at home. Like, what is she playing with? Oh, she's playing in the dressing up box and she's found fairy wings or butterfly wings and she's going to pretend to be a butterfly or whatever for the day. I kind of like the sort of like the freedom sometimes with the toddler, like, although there's sort of like a little bit more restricted with the amount of clothes that are available to toddlers, at the same time sometimes you can have some real like fun with their clothes and their clothing choices and the way that you choose to tell the stories about toddlers. So her second everyday outfit is obviously a little bit more polished. It's that little like cardigan and skirt outfit. I just thought that maybe like if they were going out somewhere, like they had to go to the shops or something, that Supriya would want her to look like sort of like a little bit polished, like Supriya was doing a good job looking after Evie basically, and not in like little Evie's chaotic like dress up clothes. So that's kind of like what I was thinking a lot of the time. For like half of her outfits are like fun, silly toddler outfits, and then the other ones are sort of like, right, mum needs you to be serious now, let's put this on, we need to go somewhere, we need to look a certain way, so that's what we're going to be doing. And I really love that. I think also because with Evie being an angelic toddler, that she would be quite happy either way. She just like loves life. Little Evie, she loves being a toddler, she loves being with her mom, she loves like being with her pets and just playing and getting on with her own little life. And she's so cute. I did keep her in glasses as well. I think it's quite nice having them all in glasses except for Pierce. I just think that like it kind of sets him apart a little bit, like where he's like so crazy and sort of a big mixture of everyone, that like it kind of sets him apart not having the glasses, which is kind of, yeah, that's kind of like why I went for that. Oh, she looks so cute there. But I have been putting like, because she had that hair, I couldn't find another hair that I liked that didn't have the clips in for when she was sleeping. So I've put her in the little bonnets, which is good for anyone's hair and especially curly hair anyway. So she's got like a couple of outfits where she has like bonnets on for sleepwear and swimwear, I believe. She also has the bonnet on just to like sort of control her hair and to keep her hair in good condition. Again, like I said, Supriya is very aware that she wants to look like she's doing a good job with Evie, even though she is sort of like slipping at looking after herself. She always wants to make sure that her kids are her priority and that they're taken care of and that they're the ones that are going to be like looking their best basically. But yeah, I just think that there's some really fun little outfits for the toddlers, like this little cupcake dress for when it's warm. She's just like, it's just really cute, like some little stories that you can tell, little fun things. It's like, I really wish there were a few more outfits for toddlers, but yes, this like that's the kind of vibe that I was going for with Evie anyway. She just is happy. Happy, healthy, toddling, learning about the world, playing, loving her little cat and dog, and just being the apple of her mum and dad's eyes. Oh, she is very sweet though, and I do definitely recommend her for your second or third generations when you're playing Legacies, because she is very, very cute when she grows up. So that's basically Evie. I don't really have much else to say other than that, really. And so I'll probably just like leave you now. If you could like and subscribe to my channel, that really helps me. And like I said before, I'm doing this for my mental health, not for any other reason. So it just like makes me happy. It gives me something to focus on and something to make myself like feel a bit better. So if you are enjoying it, it does really make my day if you can or if you subscribe to my channel. But I'm going to say dag now, and I'm just going to leave you with the rest of Evie's outfit choices and seeing her little tiny Evie fashion show. So dag everyone, and I hope you have an awesome day.